Welcome to LifeVantage, where we specialize in the science of nutrigenomics, which is the study of how nutrition impacts our genes expression. And we use nutrigenomics to help slow the hands of time, to turn back the clock so that you can age less and live more. Recently, there's been a paradigm shift in the scientific community. They used to believe that disease was the primary cause of aging. We now know the opposite is true. If we can figure out the causes of aging and slow down the aging process, we can slow down disease and ultimately delay human death by perhaps as much as 30%. But here's the fantastic part. Not only can we extend lifespan, but we can in turn improve quality of life or optimize health span as well. So scientists like Dr. David Sinclair at Harvard, he believes the only reason we age is that our body's natural defense system doesn't work the same at 60 as it did when we were 20. And so if we can find a way to reboot our body's defense system, just like you'd reboot a computer, we can then allow our bodies to optimize its defense to the free radical, mitochondrial, and sirtuin theories of aging. We've done that here at LifeVantage with our ProTandem Tri-Synergizers. So starting in 2003, we launched our Nrf2 or Nrf2 Synergizer. This combats the free radical theory of aging. That theory says that as we go through life, we get oxidative stress in our bodies from being exposed to chemicals and pollutants and toxins that our body has never been evolved to handle. And the more we age, the more free radicals we are exposed to. We couldn't possibly eat enough fruits and vegetables to overcome that toxic load, and that results in oxidative stress in our body and inflammation, which is associated with so many different disease processes. The second product that we launched was our NRF1 activator, and this came out in 2016, and this helps combat the mitochondrial theory of aging. So we have mitochondria in every cell in our bodies, and we need healthy mitochondria for healthy cells and healthy cells for a healthy body. What happens as we age is that our mitochondria get damaged and dysfunctional, and so we need to find a way to repair those mitochondria. That happens with our NRF1 activator. And at the beginning of October, we are launching our third synergizer. This is our NAD activator. This is going to combat the sirtuin theory of aging. Sirtuins are our longevity genes in our body, and these longevity genes, you guessed it, they don't work as well as we age. So what our NAD activator does is it goes back in and it flips the light switch for those sirtuins so that they can go back to protecting us, just like the defense mechanism that they were designed to be. Now, here you see the benefits of our ProTandem Tri-Synergizers on the right. Some of those benefits apply to more than one of these theories of aging. On the left-hand side, you see the different theories of aging, and they are overlapping. Sometimes they are layered upon each other, and you will see that this is like a 1, 2, 3 punch, impacting our body, impacting the disease process as well as aging. So we responded with our own 1, 2, 3 punch of our defense system, our NRF2, NRF1, and NAD activators. Think of these like branches of the military. We certainly know that if you sent the Air Force to respond to an attack, that they could do a phenomenal job. But we also know that if you sent the Air Force, the Marines, and the Navy, that they would combat it even better. That's what we want to do with our ProTandem Synergizers, is we want to create a 1, 2, 3 punch to help your body optimize its own natural defenses to these various different theories of aging. So let's talk about NAD activation and how that impacts our sirtuins. We know that sirtuins are our longevity genes, and there are 7 of them in all mammals. Dogs, horses, people, cats, we all have 7 sirtuin genes. And unfortunately, our sirtuin activity declines by 60% by the time we hit about 50 years old. So once you hit middle age, you basically have 2/3 less sirtuin activity, 2/3 less of your sirtuin defense system. So we do know that caloric restriction is a way to boost your body's sirtuin activity. Here's the bad deal. You have to eat 500 calories a day every day for the rest of your life for your sirtuin activity to be 94% boosted. Most people can't live on 500 calories a day. They have to be under medical supervision. And even if they could live on it, they don't want to, because even though it would extend their quantity of years, their quality of life would be impacted. And so Scientists studied this, though, and what they found is that caloric restriction, it actually stimulates an enzyme called NAD, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. So NAD, you don't need to remember the long chemical name. Just know that NAD works like fuel for our sirtuins. So if you can feed your sirtuins NAD, you will boost your sirtuin activity. That's what our NAD activator does. You can see that it supports autophagy, which is the removal of cellular waste. Think of that like power washing your cells. We know that it helps our body's natural inflammatory response. It helps support cholesterol levels, healthy liver, heart, and vascular function. For athletes, so important for joint health and muscle recovery. You will see less delayed onset muscle soreness or DOMS, less lactic acid. It's going to boost your energy, or ATP. Again, ATP so important for our VO2 max and ultimately our ability to perform, to get oxygen to our muscles and to our organs. NAD is also going to help support mental focus, mood, and motivation. It's going to boost mitochondrial function and repair. 3 of those 7 sirtuins are related to NAD activation in mitochondria, and ultimately it's going to help support healthy DNA. Now, here at LifeVantage, we believe in science, so we put our product to the test. We know that caloric restriction boosts NAD levels and sirtuin activity by 94%. So we tested our NAD activator and found that at 24 hours, it had boosted our sirtuin level by 100%. And then we compared it to a competitor. So this competitor has a precursor of NAD, and this precursor has to go through some chemical transformations and ultimately somersaults and gymnastics to turn into NAD in your cells. So it does work, but unfortunately, it only boosts your sirtuin levels by 2% at 24 hours. So that's why we are so excited here that our NAD activator is kind of like intermittent fasting in a bottle. Now, let's talk about NRF1 activation, because we know that NAD helps boost mitochondria, but NRF1 does as well. So mitochondria are these things you see in the cell that look a little bit like worms. Those are the engines of our cells. They supply up to 95% of our body's energy, and the quality of our life, it depends on the quality of our mitochondria. So that's where our NRF1 activator comes into play. What it does is it helps boost the function of your existing mitochondria, and it stimulates the production of new mitochondria. Think of this like a fireplace. When you want a big, healthy fire, you put on a lot of logs, and you want those logs to be big logs instead of just little kindling. The same thing happens inside your cells. You want your mitochondria in your cells to be big, healthy, robust mitochondria, and you want to have a whole lot of mitochondria. If you can accomplish that, you can limit the impact of mitochondrial dysfunction, which is associated with so many diseases, especially diseases of the cardiovascular and neurovascular system. You can also help boost athletic performance. Now, NRF1, it also helps improve sleep quality and cellular repair. So important. We know it supports healthy DNA, that it supports cognitive and brain health, circulatory and cardiovascular health. And again, you see mitochondria is so important. This is our body's energy supply, our ATP production. Now, in addition to Nrf1, we also have Nrf2. So Nrf2 is our first product, and it combats the free radical theory of aging. We came out with this in 2003, and about a decade later, the Washington State University published a review about all of the studies on Nrf2 activation. And what they found is that Nrf2, it may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. We agree with that forecast here at LifeVantage because we've seen the impact over the last decade plus of people who've been using our products. How does Nrf2 work? It helps regulate over 500 different survival genes. These are the genes we needed 1,000, 10,000 years ago to help protect our bodies. And they control our body's internal pharmacy. And that pharmacy, when we couldn't go to Walmart or Walgreens or Costco to pick up a prescription, our body needed to be able to protect itself. And that's what these survival genes did. They help the body repair and rejuvenate their own cells. They slow down aging by increasing your body's super antioxidant production and minimizing oxidative stress. These antioxidants that our body makes, they're so much more powerful than anything you can get from eating blueberries or taking a vitamin C tablet. Those only neutralize one free radical for one molecule. These antioxidants our body makes can neutralize up to 1 million free radicals for one molecule of antioxidant. We know that they support our body's natural anti-inflammatory, anti-fibrotic, and detoxification functions. We know that it will lower oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days and up to 70% in 120 days. This was our first clinical peer-reviewed study, came out in 2006. It was performed on humans. And then ABC Primetime News, the investigative journalism show, they checked our results, and their reporter had a decrease in his oxidative stress by 46% in just 14 days. That clinical study was followed up with many, many more, including one by the National Institute of Aging out of the US, overseen by the US government. And they found that our Protandim Nrf2 activator is the only dietary supplement they've ever tested in 20 years that extended median lifespan by an average of 7% in male mice. And just last year in 2018, the University of Arizona's Medical School authored a study, it actually a review related to cardiovascular health and Nrf2 activation. And they found that our Protandim Nrf2 activator was vetted in scientific journals and clinically proven to activate nuclear Nrf2. So here at LifeVantage, science matters. You can see that in those studies, and in some of these are universities and medical schools that have investigated our Nrf2 activator. We are so proud that we have 26 peer-reviewed clinical studies that you can find on pubmed.gov. This is where doctors and scientists and researchers go to see if the science is legitimate. You have to have a peer-reviewed clinical study to make it onto this website. So if a researcher does a study and types up the results of his study and submits that to a journal, then that journal reviews it. Their editorial board of other scientists and physicians and chemists and biomedical specialists, they review that study. And then and only then, if they all agree, will it be published. Only about 10% of studies make it into a peer-reviewed journal. We have 26, soon to be 28 studies in peer-reviewed journals. I want you to take a look at any other supplement that you're considering using or that you already use. Most don't have any peer-reviewed studies or any studies at all. And even if they have a study listed on their website, if you can't find it on pubmed.gov, that means that study didn't withstand peer review. It basically is no better than a study performed for sales, just like an ad on the Super Bowl halftime show. Our studies are performed for science, because here at LifeVantage, science, it matters. And we have started our company as a biotech company. We are continuing that legacy today of doing peer-reviewed clinical studies so that you can trust that our products are going to give you the results. We use our Nrf2 activator to combat the free radical theory of aging. Our Nrf1 activator combats the mitochondrial theory of aging. And our NAD activator combats the sirtuin theory of aging. Together, these three, they form a really powerful defense for our body's own pharmacy to help us optimize our own health, help us age less and live more.